You know how I feel. Ooh, 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 ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, 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 ooh.
three. Okay. Let's see if this works. Nama Flow is in the house. Welcome back. Okay. Sweet. Hey, everybody. Welcome to class. And I'm excited about Jennifer's here, Claire's here, Jackie is here. Jackie, I always appreciate your status update when you tell me that we're live on all the platforms. You know, if you ever didn't do it, but it's so nice. Definitely makes me feel, you know, like we're on track. Hopefully you're hearing me. Everybody should be hearing me right now. And I have made some tweaks over the last. Ooh, there we go. There was a little bit better. Okay, so I've made some tweaks, and the consensus seems to be that it is looking a lot better. And so I hope that that is true. No more tweaks are coming. But anyway, and I'm really stoked that we're still doing this together. Thursday nights are supposed to be the foundations class, and even though a lot of you, even though a lot of you are, you know, joining me regularly, I want to make the things available. Hey, Mantra. I want to make things, and Ariana, I want to make sure that I keep Thursday open to beginners so that if people, you know, hooping has done so much for me that I want to make sure that I keep it available, that like it's, that I leave this hook in the water that someone else could get. And so with these Thursday night classes, I want to make sure that I hit different topics, whether they're popular or not. I want to hit different topics so that if someone is watching this, if this even their first video that they've watched of mine, that maybe they are a slow flow person. You know, most of the hoop community hoops psycho fast all the time. That's okay. That can be intimidating to some people. And if you're just getting started in your hoop journey, maybe I'm speaking to you directly right now. You can move any way you want. You know, that the pace of how people move on TikTok or Instagram or wherever you're watching the video, that's their pace. And that flow has all the paces. Right? Like if flow, there's not like a requisite speed that you have to hit to feel flow. And you can feel flow, hopefully tonight you will, maybe, moving in very, very slow ways. So even though I know that the majority of people here already do slow flow, probably love slow flow, that's probably why they're tuning in for this. If you're a new hooper, it is okay to not bust your ass all the time, okay? And here's the thing. One of my wishes is to take hooping and flow arts, you know, or hooping really, because that's my only flow art, into my older ages. We are a living experiment. Like, what happens to a human being if they flow for 60 years? You know, and for me, in my case, it will be just with a hoop. So, you know, it's like how, you know, like I know that as I get older and I lose a step, I mean, everybody does. That's why there's not 80-year-old professional, you know, football players out there. I still want to be able to enjoy hooping. And I still want to feel like I'm just as good as I ever was. 67, sweet. Okay, so I have a feeling I'm preaching to the choir right now, and we're doing pretty good. As always, with me is Tara down there in the corner on the ball. She's sort of waving hi. Just so you know, she does not want a microphone. I would give her one if she wanted one. I'm not keeping her silent. Every time I've offered one, she would just rather take the class. So I hope everything is going great where you are. We're going to talk about different types of slow flow techniques that I like. A lot of you have had HoopPath way before or have just been taking this class, and so this will be kind of like for you maybe more of a flow class than a tech class, but my goal is to make it about 50-50. Okay. All right, let's get going. need to remember to remove the office chair. Okay. Seriously, thank you everybody for joining us. We're going to move into sway now. Okay. And all right. All right, here we go. If you're new to me and new to my class, I need to turn this down just a little bit. Okay. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Okay, that's good. If you are new to me in my class, we start every class off with what we call sway. And sway is free form movement. And I say this with love in my heart, but I have met the person who really struggles with free-form movement. And I think I was able to recognize it because I used to deal with it. Free-form movement doesn't mean that it doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before. Freeform movement just means that you're not forcing anything. That you're allowing your body to kind of roll like water. But if you're stuck, like I used to be, you can use metaphor to help you find this freedom of movement. Because you have one folder of every way you've ever seen a human move, but you have a much bigger folder for every way that you've seen nature move. Audible breath in. I can say move like a wave. I can say move like seaweed. And that can be an introduction to free form movement. Audible breath in. Now we're going to do about 1 minute of silent sway. If you've never done this before, 1 minute feels like an eternity. If you have done this before, you'll feel like I'm cheating you. But we're going to go 1 minute moving freely, starting now. full breath in. Sweet. Amy, thanks for joining. Okay. So now we're going to do, let's see if I can get you here. Now we're going to do an exercise where, this is an old school HoopPath exercise, and we're doing this to see if we can, let me bring a little bit light. It's an old school exercise, and what we're trying to do tonight is we're trying to really turn down the whole sort of reference frame, slow the speed down for what we think is fast, and we want to move slower than what we believe is slow right now. I got really into slow motion movement. I don't exactly remember when, like probably 6 or 7 years ago. And not into it like I watched it on YouTube, but into it just like I started to do it. I never knew if it was a thing or if people were good or if I was bad. But some things that I learned in that process was that the more things on your body, the more hands, the more feet, that all move in slow motion, the more captivating it is for you. Good. All right, so this exercise works like this. we're going to play a song that's full of Tibetan bowls. And when you hear a bell, you're going to move a corresponding part to that or move in some way to that. So, for instance, I'm not very good at imitating bells, but when I hear a noise, boom, I'm going to move, like I've been pushed in outer space or something. Boom. And then when I hear the next bell, I'm going to move again. So it would be like boom, boom, boom. And then if I don't hear a bell, I just let that movement, whatever I just did, I just let that roll out of me, okay? Tara's never done this exercise before, so watch me. But I have a feeling she's going to be great at it. Okay, wait a second. Okay, here we go. I promise we're going to pick up our hoops right after this. Every time you hear a bell, then you open as long as it rings. And of course you can stay with any bell. You don't have to respond to every bell. body discover itself. Open, open. So if your eyes are open, whether it's with the bells or not, I invite you to try some slow motion balance. I love that exercise so much. I hope you guys did too. I really like that one. I've always enjoyed that one. It's a super old exercise in the little HoopPath community here. Okay, let's see. There I am. Okay. Oh, what's that about? Okay. So our next exercise is we're going to move into slow samurai. And slow samurai is a magnificent way to, I feel like maybe I'm a little too dark tonight. Nice meme. Okay. Slow samurai. We used to call this slow warrior. And I know this is going to sound like a very Homer thing to say, like a home fan thing to say, but Con Wong is still one of my favorite hoopers to watch do slow warrior. In fact, I started calling it Slow Warrior because of watching Khan. And there are some components to it, especially if you're a beginner, that you may not realize that will help pull your whole mind, body, spirit into the movement. One of those things is moving the offhand. Like if you're holding with one hand. If both hands are holding, it's a different story. But if I'm holding with one hand, when you start to activate the other hand, and Slow Warrior really helps you do that. So much fun. The other thing is footwork. Even though I'm in slow motion, in Slow Warrior here, I can still keep my feet moving. I can kind of see myself as some sort of, slow motion ocean, or oh, that sounded bad, but slow motion, body of water. Imagine this. Imagine you're, this badass Maidan warrior. You're out in the deep forest, and you're not scared, but you hear something, and you could reconstruct that moment in slow motion of turning around, or of grabbing your hoop, or of taking a defensive position, or whatever your badass higher self would do there. We can act those out in slow motion. Okay. For most of us, there are 3 ways to get around. There's a car, there's walking, and there's biking. And you never know how much you miss until you move down the speed in one of those groups. The first time you bike somewhere that you've always driven, you see things you haven't seen. And then still, when you walk for the first time, even if you've been biking the whole time, you see what you've never seen. The same drive, the same walk, the same bike. Samurai grip, we're not implying that the grip is the same pressure all the time. The grip can be loose and the hoop can spin and fold around you, or the grip can be tight and lock the hoop. strongly suggest this for everyone over 40. We cannot fall anymore. If you want to work on your grip strength, samurai slow motion is a great way to do that. If I'm holding the hoop vertically like I am now, and I want to slow motion push it out into a horizontal-ish, and then just hold it, that's grip strength, right? And then when I get tired of that, I'm going to flip it up and fold back down here, right? And then in slow motion, if I want to, I can push it out again. I've got a monitor to help me to see if it's flat, but more or less be flat there. And then what I like to do sometimes, and I know it's not exactly slow motion, but is to come from here where I'm trying to keep a nice level plane to here and get that plane level as fast as I can. So here, hop to here. But the reason I bring that up is that slow motion gives you a chance to build that hand strength to be able to hold this thing. This is me switching hands. Okay. So that is Tara, everybody, if I haven't just joined us. She's the genius behind the scenes here. Not really listening to. Okay. So, okay, cool. Okay. So, slow motion, or excuse me, slow movement can also, because it's so slow, really help you feel your contact hooping, okay? Because it's so slow, you know, like sometimes when I'm out on the road and I used to try to teach the smear, people would really struggle with it because they were trying to do it as fast as they had seen Brecken do it, right? But if I take something like the smear and I put it in the craziest of slow motions, I can pretty much guarantee I can teach it to myself, right? Like if I say to you, in slow motion, moving as slowly as you can, I want you to paint red paint around your waist with this red painted hoop, okay? Like let's just say that I said that. So you have to create a red ring around your waist with this, right? Now I know that this is a little bit harder than I'm making it out to be, but if I slow it up a lot, I'm bringing one hand down. The hoop is starting to change its angle. It's starting to roll around my back. Now it's rolling onto my stomach. I want to put paint there, so I'm going to bring my hand towards my stomach to make sure that the hoop touches that. And then I smear where it gets its name. I smear that loop around there, and then I'm back up here. So I bring the hoop down, making contact, making contact, making contact. And then now I'm going to switch. My hands are going to change position. Nice, T. Right? And if you can learn, your body can learn it in slow motion. It definitely can learn it in fast motion, right? And this is a gooey smear. All right. Let's keep going. Actually, this is the one I meant. All right, this is a little dark sounding, but this is one of my favorite slow folds. Actually, I'm sorry. Same band, but I want to, or producer, but I want to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, this is much better. So what we're doing right now is we're using slow flow to help us feel our goo. If you're not sure what goo is like this nice, long, extended contact. And of course I've been doing this for a long time, but for me, I can extend gooiness into just even my hands and how the hoop is rolling in my hands. Just slowing it down and really reminding myself, even in that last exercise, I had to remind myself a couple times, like, slow down, dude. Now, if some of you have that crazy energy, one of the reasons I played this song is it can be fun to completely break out of slow flow into a flurry and then back into slow flow, right? So I could be... Nice, welcome, Kelly. So if I'm moving super slow, sometimes I like to flurry and then back into super slow. Flurry. I'm making gooey contact. Now this might be way too techie or nerdy, but you see how I'm holding the hoop in samurai here? And then I'm pushing up with my arm here. Okay, now you don't need to, I didn't mean to stop your flow there, T, you were going off. But you see how I'm pushing up against it. I've got one hand gripping it and one hand pushing against it, right? If you're a beginning hooper, this may seem super elementary, but like this can be very, very helpful for you, right? To start to develop how I can hinge with one hand and then put pivot with the other arm, right? Because if I can do that, it's kind of a sleight of hand thing, right? Like, or I can do it against the body. If you are digging the music tonight, it's all coming from my iTunes, so you can screen cap it or take a picture. Again, this isn't for everybody, but if you're, and I don't mean this in any kind of weird way, but like if you're a sensual person, like if you feel touch and other senses, just feeling like a contact roll on the body here, where I'm just holding the hoop and moving it, it could be anywhere on the body. It can feel like it's hard to describe it, but it can be very informative to your body. The way I like to think of it is that the hoop helps to connect two physical parts of your touch that don't normally touch, right? Like the bottom of your foot and your hand or something. I don't know. You get the point. this would normally be the point in a weekly class where I would look around and get a sense of the vibe and where we're going and go there next. T is going off, which is fun to see, so it's encouraging. But we're going to talk a little bit about slow core, okay? But I'm going to let you, of course, you can deviate from whatever I'm suggesting, right? This is mostly a flow class. But one way to feel ultra slow core is to let the hoop hang from your shoulder. Like my neck is inside of it even, which makes it even harder for the hoop to come off. And then while it's here, and this is why I love having a big hoop. I don't know what this is like with a small hoop. I can move it around in slow motion. And then, I know I've talked about this a bunch in my classes, but seriously, if you move slow enough while the hoop is hanging, right, you'll feel it hit, no matter how big or small it is, it's going to hit some other part of your body, okay? Because by moving so slowly, you're taking away some of the momentum, so it's not going to fly, it's going to hang. And I only, it's not like I'm a coach that wants you to do something I've never done. I recommend this to you because it starts to help inform you, and you start to come up with things that you can do with like just your legs or just your hip. I mean, your body's different than mine, your hoop size is different than mine. So what you learn to do with it could be, completely unique to you. So we're going to let the hoop hang if you want to. We're going to start to warm up our core this way. Now, of course, if you guys were in my live class, you would know this. You can always veer off, right? Like if you're just dying to get down, but you got a lesson, then go for it. But what I like to do with slow core is fly the hoop and then hang the hoop.
Ray low in the road lane, tight slow in the soul vein. It's a code name, could take a whole life. Said we in the low lane, this time it's the flow names. Get it road rage, you the type to keep up on your own time. Call me on my phone lane, I be on there tryna smoke vein. Back a cone, take a hit on this old pain.
If you do like I do and your speed keeps ramping up like it just did for me and you're not moving slow anymore, just breathe and bring it back down to 0 and let it slowly creep up and bring it back down and let it slowly creep up.
I could levitate stone like gain a whole strength, find a new life. This is smooth climb, keep it ever so smooth like gazing at the moonlight, trying to get the moonlight. Never lose sight, sitting on the shroom, hey. Watch the old day, letting go of the old life. I'm just trying to soul save, said we in the low light. Love in the strobe light, love in the strobe light.
Okay. Sweet. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's stop that right there. And I'm going to play a song that I have played a lot. I've played it a lot just on this podcast, but I think it's really good for okay. I played it before, and I kind of hate to replay it, but I like the song too much. Wait. Okay. That's weird. Okay, it's not showing up. That's weird. Okay, Sorry, the song I want to play is not loading. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to move into some more slow core. And if you're a beginner, this might be a little bit hard, but you can totally do this at the waist. But one of the ways that you can slow down core hooping, which is hard to do, but one of the ways that you can do it, I'm going to take off my slides for this one because I need all the grip I can. But one of the things that you can do is to turn with the hoop and to take big, sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of slowing this down. I don't usually slow it down. All right. Take big stalls to slow the hoop. Okay, I just gave the worst waist demo, so if you're a beginner and you can't shoulder hoop yet, you can do this. You'll have to show it to me. It's just been a while since I've tried it. But I'll show you what I'm doing again. I'm up here on the shoulders, and I'm going to stall it. And of course, I can bring my hands up. I can do paddles. There's nothing illegal, right? But then once I'm down here, this is what slow shoulders can look like. Okay? Do you see how I'm keeping my arms out? And the hoop is just kind of like going from one arm to the other. It's hardly touching my core at all right now. Now, I used to get really dizzy. I don't anymore. And I can pretty much do this for, however. But this is what slow shoulders looks like. See how the hoop is almost in a perfect hang here? This is slow, slow, slow. And then I guess the biggest point I want to work, I don't want to overbeat this point down, but this is kind of an advanced technique. But I want you to watch me do that again, but watch like that ground I'm covering. You see how I'm kind of taking big steps beyond the path of contact? And that helps me not have to move so much, right? Because every time I take a step, I'm putting lots of mo on the hoop there. Okay? Nice. All right, let's try it with music.
Yeah. Money coming, money go, yeah. People coming, people go. If you sneaking on the low, yeah. I can't rock with you no more. Money coming, money go, yeah. People coming, people go.
If you know how to stall, like even if you can't really shoulder hoop super slow, if you know how to stall, that's a way of slowing it down. And then you can slow that down, let it hang, and then go grip it if you want to. Or 2-point. The higher you keep your elbows, if they are what's holding the hoop, the better, right? So I'm not keeping my elbows down here, right? They're up here. Right? That's why I love that.
Then you acting like a hoe, yeah. You been watching all my shows, yeah. Now you biting off the floor.
Anytime I want to stop the hoop too, I can bring points of contact in, slow it down. I can use like a 3-point fold or something to slow it down. If I'm here, I can turn, raise my hands up, and I've got a 3-point going, right? So I'm here, raise my hands. My 3-point hold, I can do that thing we did on Monday. I can do this thing.
Money coming, money go, yeah. I can't tell who friend or foe, yeah. I used to sleep up on the floor, yeah. Fiends be ringing at the door. I swear I need something more, yeah. This life before, yeah. I swear I need something more, yeah. Cause I seen this all before. I can't
can't rock with you no more. I can't rock with you no more. It's not the same as
Keep getting
before.
fast.
It's not the same as before. You had to even up the score. Now I'm looking at the door that you ain't walking through no more. Money coming, money going. People coming, people go. If you sneaking on the low, yeah, I can't rock with you no more. Money coming, money going. People coming, people go. I swear I need something more, yeah. So I can't rock with you no more.
No, that's not the one we want. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, so we're almost out of time. I think this has been a fun class. Oh, I need to put me back on. This has been a fun class for me. I hope it's been fun for you guys. I hope you're having a good time with this, slow flow. Slow flow doesn't have to mean necessarily unathletic. It actually can be very athletic, particularly slow motion movement. Okay, so we're going to talk about one more area, and if you, I guess there's two ways that you can go about this exercise. You can use a blindfold if you want to, but you don't really need to bring it down as a blindfold. You can just put it up as a headband like I'm going to do, like I'm doing now. You could do it blindfolded, but more importantly, if you have any, like a hat around, we're going to talk a little bit about head hooping, but we're going to do it in the slow flow way. So it's not going to be, hopefully, quite as, intimidating. Okay, so I'm holding the hoop here. This will be our last exercise for the night. And what I want you to do, and you don't need a headband, of course, and we're not going to be going fast. You're not going to be asking you to really head hoop that much. But what I am asking you to do is to try doing this, and this is going to sound very hippie of me, but to teach your body the feels. Right? To teach your body the feels of something being on your head and that it's not wrong, right? It's not a bug you need to swat away. It's not a hammer coming at you. That this is just a hoop and you're holding it there. And for 99% of the people, until they got into hooping, they probably never manipulated too many things with their head. At least not routinely. But it's actually head hooping, as I've told you guys before, that I credit with helping me have a strong back. Of course, I do get back pain, but I don't very often, especially for how poorly I lift things. I'll put some music on to make this a little bit more fun, and then we'll move into a free hoop after this. But I am going to instruct a little bit as we go here. So let's say that there's many different ways that we can go about learning this sense of touch. And so one thing you can learn and teach yourself is how to get it off the head, right? Because you're probably not going to keep it here the whole time once you do learn head hooping. So if this is uncomfortable for you, then you can move it off, and then you can do these what we call indirect passes, where you just drop the hoop on your head for a second, only to pass it off to the hand. Or maybe you bring it back down to the core like we were doing before, and then just every now and then you pick the hoop up and drop it on the head. put a headband on is so that you can, so the hoop is grippier. It's like more friction, but you don't need it. Big steps that can really help me with my head hooping also. I'm going straight into a full head hoop here, but what I'm really, suggesting for you guys is just the occasional visit to your head. Again, if you start going fast, if you want to, stay disciplined. I keep going fast myself, but slow it back up. You can't really hoop up here, but one really fun place to feel the hoop's weight is on this, oh, you're welcome, Mimi, is to feel the hoop just hanging from the center pole of your head, right? Like the center pole that would run between the two trees. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We're going to move into the free hoop now. So I hope you guys had a good time. I'm not really sure what to do about the pace now. I don't know if I should pick it up since we've been down or keep it slow. Do you have a feel?
Don't pick it up too much.
All right. We're going to pick it up. See if I'm going to play a song. Hopefully I didn't pick it up too much. And then we'll, if I did, I'll quickly change that. Maybe that's a little too high. Yeah, we'll just keep it chill. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. We will be doing another jam. Casey or D&D, I think it's her, has offered to sponsor the Zoom, so we'll talk about that later. I need to get back to you. If you're watching, Casey, I need to get back to you about that. I did read that. Unless Nama Flow is back in action, of course. Of course. Nama Flow, so good to have you back, man. Really appreciate you popping in. If you're new to this is the free hoop. We don't hoop any, no more instruction comes, it's just a chance to hoop to some music. Oh man, you bring so much, Nama. We missed you too. You bring so much. Thank you guys so much. We'll do one more. Actually, I'm gonna change this a little bit. We're gonna play a different song. We've played that one before. It's another slow flow. I actually reached out to this guy once and asked him if I could hoop to his video or to this song, and he wrote me back immediately and said yes. This kind of hit. Super cool guy. Person.
So many things I try to say to you that I don't feel too well. You're so close and then I bail. I wanna know you, but I'm so scared to tell you just how I really feel. If you don't mind, baby, crazy.
Thank you, Jackie. Take care, everybody.
Want you to be mine. Oh, I've tried. When these butterflies go steady here when you're close, they run wild. If you want, baby, crazy, maybe.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.